What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome into a Tuesday morning episode of the Daily Juice Podcast. My name is Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all of my socials at Sports Talk Matt, and this podcast being brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. So, a step back night last night. It didn't have to be, though. Iowa State had 3 shots at the rim and then a free throw to go over 82.5 points. They missed them all in the final minute. They fall 82. We lose that bet. We lose 1.4 units in the process, and that kills the entire night, unfortunately. The Clipper bet comes in. That was on the BettingPros app. If you guys haven't gone and followed me on there, you should, at Sports Talk Matt. Go download the BettingPros app. It's free. And then follow me when I put different plays up that I was eyeballing. Clippers plus 6.5. We got the injury news we were looking for there, and we cashed the only bet of the night. The teaser misses because I don't know what Sean McVay was doing there at the end. Go score a touchdown, 2-point conversion, then onside kick. Kicking that field goal was dumb because the onside kick is incredibly hard to get. But even if you do get it, you have no time to get into field goal range. So not really sure what that play was. So we missed that, unfortunately. 23-13 was the final, right? So we don't get the over 42.5. The Dolphins play should have just been all on its own, plus 2.5. Iowa State, like we mentioned, and then the hockey bet was disastrous. I got to stay away from hockey for a little bit because, oh my. I bet under 6.5. It was pretty much dead in the first period because Dallas scored 6 goals. They were up 6-0 in the first period. I didn't even see where that game ended. What was the final score of that game? It was so hard to watch. I was like, yeah, we're just not going to pay attention to Dallas because Dallas hadn't been scoring, and all of a sudden Dallas scored. 7-1 was the final score. So dead there on that play. 6-0 in the first period. That kills an under pretty quickly and easily. First period under. Gift did not hit. So if you bet all 3, I apologize. You missed all 3 bets on that. Not a good night for me overall, obviously. So back at it here on a Tuesday where I've got 2 bets in the 2 big college basketball games and 1 bet in the big NBA game. I normally try to stay away from the marquee matchups, but why not? Let's get involved with the biggest games of the night. Let's have some fun. Let's have some action on Duke and Kentucky, Kansas, Michigan State, and the Warriors and the Mavericks. Those are the 3 biggest games going on here tonight. I don't always do this, but why not? Let's get involved with the biggest games tonight on the docket, on the slate to bet. First and foremost, DraftKings Pick 6. If you guys haven't gone and downloaded the new DraftKings Pick 6 app, go and do so. You play $5, you get $50 back instantly in Pick 6 credits when you use the code JUICE at sign up. Very simple to go and download the app wherever you get apps and use the code JUICE at sign up. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. 18 plus in most jurisdictions, but other age and eligibility restrictions may vary. Valid only in jurisdictions where DraftKings Pick 6 operates. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including but not limited to New York and California. Prohibited, void where prohibited. 1 new Pick 6 customer plays $5. You receive $50 issued as non-withdrawable Pick 6 credits that expire in 30 days. For terms, go to pick6.draftkings.com/promos. Okay, let's start with the big ones. Duke and Kentucky. KenPom has this as a 7-point win for Duke. I would expect this number to climb as the day progresses. This number for Duke, it opened up at 5. It's currently 5.5 or 6. I got 5.5. Duke has won 9 of the last 11 meetings between Duke and Kentucky. No John Calipari, obviously. No Coach K here. It's Shire up again, with Duke, and we've got Mark Pope as making his debut as the head coach of Kentucky. Both these coaches won national championships as players, and now trying to win national championship as coaches. Duke is 8-5 in the Champions Classic. They've won 3 of the last 4 games against the Wildcats overall. The last time they played in Atlanta, the Devils won 75-68, but that was back in 2012. This is the Cooper Flagg Show. Have you seen this kid yet? If you haven't, look out. This kid is going to show out tonight. I think Kentucky is young. They're a team to watch. They've got some veterans that they're going to lean on early in this season, but Kentucky is a team that, it's Kentucky. They're going to be led by some very talented youngsters here. I'll be very curious to see how the role players for Duke play here tonight, but I think Duke is deeper I think Duke is better. I think the Ken Pom projection is there. I think Duke wins the game by 8 to 10 points here in this one. I'm going to come in. I'm going to lay the 5.5 with Duke here. Duke minus 5.5 for 1.1 units. If you want to bet money line, go ahead, but it's pretty darn expensive to bet money line here on Duke. I don't really like it. I'm not interested in laying 265, okay? As I told you before, I'd rather not lay 5.5 points and get burned, but I'd rather lay 1.1 units than laying minus 265. I think Duke wins. I think Duke covers. I'd rather bet that than bet money line. I don't think it's worth it. It's just too darn expensive to bet that. Second bet, Kansas against Michigan State, also in Atlanta at State Farm Arena here with the Champions Classic. This game's going to be a lot of fun. According to KenPom, this is a 5-point win for Kansas. The number at FanDuel is 6.5. I hope you guys get 6.5 or 6, not 5.5. The number's coming down. Why? Well, it's Tom Izzo, okay? Yes, Kansas is undefeated. Yes, KU beat North Carolina at home in a barn burner of a game, but we were on Carolina there, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm taking Michigan State. I think Kansas is a little bit inflated here. I think everyone thinks KU is just the best team in the country by far, and I don't agree. Look, Hunter Dickinson's tremendous. He's going to be a major problem, but I love Izzo's ability to get his team ready to go here in key games, in marquee games, in particular early in the year when coaching really does matter. I think it's a tight game. This game may be a bit more high scoring than people think, but I think we've got a good opportunity here for Michigan State to win the game outright. Michigan State is 2-0 on the year. They beat Monmouth 81-57. They beat Niagara 96-60. This is by far their biggest step up in competition, obviously, but at 6.5 points, I think you can look at the KenPom number and the projection there, and I think a lot of people are going to be taking the dog here. I'll take Izzo early here to have his guys ready to go. I'll take the dog here. Michigan State to maybe even upset Kansas and give the Jayhawks their first loss of the year. I love Tom Izzo. I love his coaching ability. Yes, the talent discrepancy will be heavily on KU, but we saw that against UNC. Even when they get up, they've got some tendencies to relax, and they've got some, they can go cold from the outside. We need Jaden Atkins to have a big game here tonight for Michigan State. He's leading the team in scoring with 16.5 points. We need him and others to come up with big. This is a team. Look, the numbers are really early, okay? So I don't want to fall in love with the unders in terms of these numbers, but Michigan State's defense is already top 10 in adjusted efficiency. They're already 5th in 2-point percentage. Now, again, competition level, right? But I mean, they've been pretty good. They give up a bunch of threes. They're not great in the 3-point defense, but that's early. Offensively, Michigan State hasn't been awful. They've got a really good offensive rebound percentage, top 15 in the country, but again, it's very early. For Kansas, they're top 5 in offensive efficiency, and they have played somebody pretty good in North Carolina. They are top 65 in 3-point percentage. They're top 50, the 53rd in the country in 2-point percentage. They haven't hit their free throws very well. They got to improve upon that. But for KU defensively, they've been okay. Giving up a bunch of threes. They're outside the top 180 in the country for 3-point defense, and they're outside the top 85 for 2-point defense as well. Michigan State scores. They'll be in the game, and I think they'll cover. I'll take the points. Michigan State plus 6.5 for 1.1 units. I don't know if you guys just heard that. My dog was making a very strange noise. Sorry, I paused there for a second, but my animal is not making. Dog was barking. That's good. Maybe that's good for us. Michigan State plus 6.5 for 1.1 units. And let's go to the game of the night. Golden State hosting Dallas. It's the return of Klay Thompson. Drama. This number is going to ping pong around today. All right. Look, it's 2.5, pretty much painted. Offshore's at 3. The number's going up. It opened at 2, and we're climbing, okay? I'm not going to play around here with the number. Golden State is 8-2 this season straight up. Dallas is 5-5. Dallas is 1-2 on the road. Golden State is 2-1. They've been awesome on the road. They're coming off a 5-game road trip where they went 4-1, and they beat up on Oklahoma City 127-116 in preparation for the return for Klay Thompson. This is not just any old game, okay? Dallas has lost 3 of 4. They lost to Denver in their last game, 122 to 120. They lost to Phoenix, 114 to 113. They are right on the edge. I don't want to play around here and lay points and have Golden State win the game by 1 or 2 points and have us lose there. Instead, I think Steph Curry and company, I think this is going to be a really fun basketball game. And I cannot wait to watch this game to see how it all plays out. But I've been super impressed with the bench. Buddy Hield's played really well for Golden State so far. And the Warriors, I think, even though against the number, if you don't want to lay this juice, they're 8-2 ATS. As much as 8-2 straight up, they're 8-2 ATS. So if you want to lay the 2.5, go ahead. But instead, I'm just going to jump in here and I'm going to lay the money line, minus 135 on the Warriors to win here, to keep this Dallas slide going. Warriors off their big win against OKC. Warriors win for 1.35 units. You can lay them, minus 2.5 if you want. I just don't want to lose on the hook, have them win by 2 and lose on the hook. So it will be an awesome game, tight game, fun game out west between the Warriors and the Dallas Mavericks. All right, so 3 plays for us here on a Tuesday. We're laying the 5.5 with Duke for 1.1 units. Michigan State plus 6.5 for 1.1 units. Both those games on neutral courts in Atlanta. Duke, Kentucky, Michigan State, Kansas, and the Warriors money line against the Warriors at minus 135 for 1.35 units. My name's Matt Perrault. You guys can follow me across all my socials at Sports Talk Matt. Every morning, it's the Daily Juice Podcast presented by DraftKings.